Lights on my car work, so.
Did you drive that?
That's Erica that just pulled in. Where should be? I think that's her license plate.
Hey, you can time, that's all that matters.
And if you just
Correct.
Solutions ISS, I think that's what the plates are. Oh. Right, I think that's okay. So right here, and I'm down there a little bit. That's okay.
Chat, no chat, and no session.
To that one?
Can you read that?
What?
All right, I've got 5:30. Are we ready?
Yep. Oh, it just says my
I call the
shoe.
regular board meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please. Andrew.
Yes.
Bill. Rob. And Brandon.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, at this time, the first item on the agenda is recognition of visitors. Is there anyone here that would like to address the board?
Mark Mayhood was supposed to, but I don't see him. I hope he doesn't think it starts at 6.
I know, that's what I'm afraid of.
Well, if he does, we'll
So
back up to it.
we'll back up to it, okay. The next item on the agenda is the financial report. I'll turn that over to Mrs. Baker.
We're showing 11.95% increase over last year with a net fund balance of $27,829,860.49. Looking at the operating funds, we're showing a 9.11% increase over last year with a net total of $23,573,252.11. Revenue we received, local, $863,919. State revenue, $809,378, and federal revenue, $618,904. And the recommendation would be to reimburse the impressed account in the amount of $2,360.77, and the payment of bills in the amount of $445,494.59.
Okay, the financial packet is in your packet. Does anyone have any questions? There being none, I'm looking for a motion and a second to approve the financial report to reimburse the impressed account in the amount of $2,360.77 and the payment of bills in the amount of $445,494.59.
Motion.
Motion by Andrea. Second by Erica. Roll call.
Bill?
Yes.
Jane, yes. Brandon?
Yes.
Erica? Yes. Andrew?
Yes.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. You're going to find the minutes from the 3/16 regular board meeting, 3/16 closed session minutes, and 3/25 facility and transportation committee minutes. You'll also find the cafeteria report, the list of student teachers. We have, for next fall, we have one in English at the high school, one in PE at the junior high, one in 3rd grade at Central, One that will do 5th grade in the fall. This is an extended field experience, so they'll do a whole year of student teaching, and that will be in the fall at Central and in the spring in 2nd grade at Southside. And then the last one is just practicum experience at Little Hearts from April to August 26th. Fundraisers. We have the EJHS track team that is selling the Effingham Invite apparel. The track team is also selling ginger ales, tea, and lemonade coupons. The girls' tennis team at the high school would like to do a tennis clinic in June. The tennis team at the high school is doing concessions, pizza and t-shirt sales. And then the tennis team is they're doing concessions again, from August to October. So that's 3 things for the girls' tennis team. And the final thing on the agenda is the approval of recall and rehire Kenna Custer to the 1st grade teacher vacancy for the 26-27 school year. Does anyone have any questions about the consent agenda? There being none, I would like a motion, I would entertain a motion in a second to approve the consent agenda. Motion by Erica,
Second.
second by Brandon, roll call.
Jane, yes. Brandon?
Yes.
Erica? Yes. Andrew?
Yes.
Yes. And then, there is correspondence.
It's in your blue folder right there.
Blue folder, thank you. There is a thank you note from Tammy Line and family for, in memory of her father, and Diane Teifel, head cook at Central, for the plant in memory of her mother. I'll pass those around for everyone to look at. And then the next item on the agenda is the superintendent's report.
Starting off with the enrollment, as of 3/31, so end of March, the total enrollment is 2,296 students. This is 4 more students than the previous month, but it is down 38 students from the previous year this time. Next would be the FOIA. We had 4 FOIA requests. One of them was the non-certification union, the ESPA, on several items. I believe that was dealing with bargaining items for their awareness. Secondly is Tyler Technologies contract. It was, I'm not sure what all that was. I mean, what that was.
That's just our transportation software contract. They requested a copy.
They requested that, okay. And then purchasing records and the PD offered by our curriculum companies. Next item is just an announcement. In the previous years, last 2 or 3 years at least, we have worked at the central office, moved to 410s rather than 5 days a week, shutting this building down on Fridays. Multiple reasons for that, but we would request, if there's no concerns from the board, that we go ahead and do that again this year. That would start the last week of May, so it's the week of May 25th, and it would run through the end of July. Any concerns there? Same thing we've done for at least 3 years. Okay, and then the last one, probably the biggest one, we have an opportunity this evening to recognize a board leader recognition acknowledgement from the Illinois School Board Association. I'm just going to read through the letter that they sent us, if that's okay. Congratulations on your board leader recognition achievement. The IASB's Board Leader Recognition Program recognizes school board members for the time and effort they devote to learning and leadership activities provided by the association, as well as for service to the public education community. Enclosed are items, which I'll give away here in a minute. They sent a nice little umbrella that I'm pretty sure probably says school board on it. When the individual in the room gets this, if you see that person around town, you'll know that she's a board member. I'm not sure they want to.
Don't open it. It's
If you want to open it or not, well, I'm going to hand it off and they take care of it from there. There are lapel pins here. There's a couple of lapel pins that they've provided us with is established board leader and a distinguished board leader. And I think this is basically more off of years of experience. So because these pins are new this year, board members who have reached levels in the past or multiple levels are receiving a pin for each level they have achieved. We encourage you to wear your pins to IASB events, to the grocery store, out to eat. Oh, that's, maybe it doesn't say all that. Please see the enclosed district list indicating what board members should receive this information. Finally, board members who have reached the distinguished level also receive an IASB umbrella, because these are also new this year. All board members who have achieved that level in the past years are also receiving the umbrella. And if you own a convertible, it's going to come in real handy if it's got raining on it. So let me go ahead and hand that over to Jane Wilmer.
I already have.
You got another one. So congratulations to Jane on
That's what I needed.
that's what I said. Pretty pretty, doesn't it?
I'll put the umbrella if you want to take me for a cruise. Okay.
That's all I have for superintendent report.
Thank you. Moving along to new business, the first item under new business is the IESA membership renewal.
That's just a junior high athletic. That's an annual renewal.
Okay, annually, the district must renew its membership with IESA, and the IESA fees are $1,715. Do you may have any questions?
That's probably a slight increase, my guess would be, but I mean, I didn't compare it to what it's been in the past, and it's really not negotiable.
Right.
I think it was the same.
And we appreciate IESA for the opportunity that they provide our kids, so I would recommend
Okay, does anyone have any questions? There being none, looking for a motion and a second to approve the district's annual membership in IESA for the 2026-27 school year.
Motion.
Motion by Erica,
Second.
second by Andrew, roll call.
Brandon?
Yes.
Erica? Yes. Andrew?
Yes.
Jill? Yes. Jamie, yes.
Next item on the agenda is registration fees. The fee schedule is in your packet.
The changes in red, so I'm gonna write that down about the third page.
The lunch didn't
Okay,
even
so
go around.
the only changes are some small increases in breakfast and lunch.
The 10-cent increase each year is what we've been told.
Okay, so yes,
Service appears to be.
it's going from K through 8, it's going from 3:30 to 3:40. 9 through 12 lunch is a 10-cent increase to $3.65. $3.90 for adults. K through 8 breakfast will be $2.90. 9 through 12 breakfast is $3, and adult breakfast is $3. Does anybody have any questions about the fee schedule? There being none, I'm looking for a motion and a second to approve the 2026-2027 fee list as presented.
Motion.
Motion by Andrew,
Second.
second by Brandon, roll call.
Brandon?
Yes.
Erica? Yes. Andrew?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Jamie, yes.
Okay, next on the agenda is the approval of parent square.
So I'll just touch on this briefly. What we're asking for is a 5-year purchase contract with the Parent Square. The purpose of this, when I came in 4 years ago and started, one of the biggest concerns, it's taken us 4 years, so we're not very quick on our end, so I apologize for that. But to try to consolidate a lot of our two-way communication that we have throughout the district with staff. Again, back to when we were talking about facilities in this district at one point, great time for it to surface again. We have 6 and now 7 because we rent a facility with 7 different buildings scattered out all over this community. It makes communication rather difficult, and for years, this district has pretty much allowed each building to kind of do their own thing. And when I came in 4 years ago, that was something that was already on the radar. And then we went through some strategic planning that first year, and it went even deeper to say, we've got to get to a point to where we do a better job of a central, single software program or something that would allow us to be able to share, communicate, and do those things across the district. So there's been a lot of work going into this. Parent Square is the software of choice that's being presented to the board tonight. I thought about showing a 3-minute video, but to be honest with you, I really don't think that's that important for me to show you that tonight. But it basically will allow us to eliminate several different software platforms starting in, we're going to start that process in August. It probably will take us a year, I would think, maybe 2, to get everything. There it is.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I didn't know it was going to open up all that.
That's okay. So, Parent Square brought up the choice. This would be something that we will utilize for the pre-K through 12th grade levels. We think it's a cost savings, even though it's an almost $86,000 expenditure over 5 years. We do think it will save us probably around $26,000, like closer to $27,000 over that time period of what we're currently doing when we would go to one platform. So, questions, thoughts, anything else you want to know about that? There has been extensive research done on it. I did put on here our Stephanie Mitchell, our technology coordinator, and Shelley Beck, curriculum, and Aaron Hartkey with marketing communication have all been involved in this. I don't know, did you sit in on any of them? I don't think we did. We're tasked with this, and one of Stephanie's comments was she had spoken to technology people from Hamilton, from Sunnybrook, from Westchester, from Sandwich, from Trico, and East Maine. All give positive reviews relating an ease of transition and training and easy accessibility for parents. She's also been following other districts such as Teotopolis, who are in the process of transitioning it as well. And there hasn't been, to our knowledge, any negatives in regard to this platform being utilized. So it is something I would endorse at the highest level, and it will meet our communication goal that was set 3.5 years ago. It just takes a little while.
Just a little one.
Hey, we made it though, if you approve this, so.
Does anyone have any other questions? There is a parent intro 2-minute video. I'm not going to open it because it might play immediately, but we might want to share that with Greg.
Mm-hmm.
The link to that we'll share with Greg.
Absolutely.
Is there any other discussion? Okay, there being none, I am looking for a motion and a second to approve the purchase of Parent Square for $85,799.25. That is a 5-year subscription.
Motion.
Motion by Andrea,
Second.
second by Erica, roll call.
Brandon?
Yes.
Erica? Yes. Andrew?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Jane, yes.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the approval of instructional materials.
So I'll jump in on that, and Kelsey, if you want to add anything to it. Through the process of some cost cut measures in this district, something that we are taking a very hard look at, not so much this year, but probably moving forward, is the cost of instructional materials. And a lot of times, especially right now, built into those is a lot of technology software for educational purposes in the classroom. So there's going to be some more conversations about this moving forward. These are large expenditures. In fact, I started the process last year before we realized that we probably needed to take some cost saving measures and put in place. I was trying to balance out the budget across every year, and we basically allocated about $750,000 each year, so $750,000. to these types of upgrades. And we range anywhere from, I think, 5 to 7 years when we do pick the curriculum of choice for, such as what we are doing tonight, French and science. And then we've got an agribusiness one that's on here as well. Fortunately tonight, I say fortunately, but it's still almost $500,000. It's about $178,000. So it's extremely, extremely expensive. But the process also to keep in mind is this is not just we go out, we look at websites and we pull something. This is a pilot program that's been run, I don't even know how long, probably at least a year, to be able to help make the decisions and put us in a position to make sure we've got something that's going to be able to be sustainable for quite some time. So I just hope you understand the magnitude when we go spend, $500,000 on some of these things, what goes into it, and how important it is. But it is something that's going to be under a microscope at a very high level moving forward, especially from the technology side. Computers are a lot more expensive than textbooks. Not saying that we should go back to textbooks, that if we use a little bit of both, we may be getting to a point where we're not going to be able to have the luxury to have both textbooks and computers. So there'll be more updates on that moving forward, but for tonight, it's 9 through 12 French, K through 5 science, 6 through 8 science, 9 through 12 science, and then 11th and 12th grade agribusiness, which is a new course next year that was approved, I believe, at the last board.
And I would like to add just experience of the the curriculum committee. 8 years ago, the board came with direction that said that our departments would like to know when they're up for textbook renewals and when can they expect new materials for their subject that they're teaching. And so Shelley Beck our curriculum director, did put together a plan, and that gets updated each year. That plan is extended out, I don't know how many years. Probably 10.
Yeah.
So each department and each subject knows when they're up for renewal. So this adoption that we're doing today is good for 7 years. So these textbooks are going to change from this investment and over the next 7 years, but we don't plan to make another science purchase until 7 years from now. So that map is laid out. If anyone, is interested in the cycle, and I know our instructors are definitely interested in when they expect to get a textbook adoption, but if we have to extend out as budgets change, we'll do that, but we do have a plan and a roadmap. Does anyone have any other questions or comments? Okay, there being none, I am looking for a motion in a second to approve the instructional materials for a total cost of $478,367. Should I go through the breakdowns?
You can.
The breakdown is as follows. 9 through 12 French is $66,162.25. K through 5 Science is $25,186. 6 through 8 Science is $195,661.10. High school 9 through 12 Science is $188,165.65. And 11-12 Agribusiness, which is a new course, is $3,192. So we're looking at, less than $200,000 for a building for 7 years. So a motion and a second to approve the instructional materials for a total cost of $478,367.
Motion.
Motion by Andrew. Second by Erica. Roll call.
Erica? Yes. Andrew?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Jamie? Yes. Brandon?
Yes.
Okay, next on the agenda is the approval of catastrophic and voluntary student accident insurance.
So this is based on our enrollment, so there's no increased cost, so it's still $1,390.
Anybody have any questions? Okay, the quote is in your packet. I'm looking for a motion and a second to approve the renewal of catastrophic and voluntary student accident insurance from First Agency or AIG and Guaranteed Trust GTI at the cost of $1,390 for FY '26.
Motion.
Motion by Erica, second by Brandon, roll call.
Andrew,
Yes.
Jill,
Yes.
Jane, yes, Brandon,
Yes.
Erica.
Yes.
Okay, next on the agenda is a discussion on facility and transportation recommendations.
This doesn't warrant any action tonight, it's simply more of a direction for myself and Kelsey, who is my assistant, it's for further research at our Facility and Transportation Committee meeting. Three of the big ticket items that came out of there were to consider bus purchasing rotation, but we will look into what that bus purchasing rotation, how it currently works right now. Just to have a little bit of an understanding, I just ran the numbers. We're spending about $155,000 to $160,000 on one bus. We generally try to rotate 7 buses. We have a fleet of about 35, maybe a little more. Try to keep them under 5 years, warranted for 5 years. So we depreciate those out over 5 years. We're fortunate, and Mel's here tonight, we've been fortunate to be able to finance through their bank over the last several years at a much cheaper rate than what we would if we were going straight through the bus companies. So that's appreciated at the local level. We're going to take a look at that and keep a close eye on that, just because if we could skip a rotation, we'd potentially save maybe $1 million, or somewhere between $1 million and $1.2 million. The bad part is you also, if you do that, you could be kicking the can down the road a little bit, and that expense will catch itself up later. So we're going to keep a close eye on it. Got a couple of board members asked to make sure we're looking into that deeper, so we will continue to do that. Consider purchasing the mobile classrooms facility at the south side. I will say right now we have a 3-year rental agreement on that structure. The committee is basically asking the board, not for action tonight, but at some point to potentially consider those as purchased buildings to stay. I will say, when we originally talked about them coming in and being temporary, we probably didn't understand the magnitude of how good they actually would look and work, because these are much better than many that I've seen that unfortunately have stayed on probably some properties in other districts much longer than they needed to. I would task this district, not me, because I think you can they'll make it past 2 years, no problem. But after that, I would pay close attention to whether that is a viable option to continue for a long period of time. However, I along with the committee, would probably suggest that we start looking into the next year or two, or over the next year, of possibly purchasing those and getting out from underneath that agreement, if we could even do that, but it possibly would save us a little bit of money. So there'll be some more discussions about that as we move down the road. And then let me finish the third one, and then if you've got some comments or anybody wants to discuss, please, at a higher level, we can do so. The third one is consider solutions to the needs in the district, such as parking lot resurfacing at EHS. At our building committee, facility committee meeting, the question rose about the expenditure of redoing our high school parking lot. We put that high school parking lot off for, honestly and truthfully, a long time before I even arrived, and I've been here 4 years now, and it's still being put off. So at some point, there's going to have to be some work done to that. There are a couple options. We haven't looked into all the options. And one of the biggest options that I was recommending back when we were talking facilities tax was to replace the entire parking lot, because there are some foundational concerns and things like that to do it right. Unfortunately, that's probably a $3.5–4 million project. We don't have $3.5–4 million sitting in the bank that we can just go do that. our fund balances are good, Kelsey just read them off. But if we go spend $4 million on that parking lot, then your fund balance obviously drops significantly. And then when it comes time to rate us, which is something that the board's very cognitive of right now, our rating, our financial rating is going to drop drastically. So the discussion has to be had at some point, or it's going to have to take place to figure out how you fund those types of projects. And or do you take a cheaper version and maybe put a top layer over the top of it for I don't know how many years? That's one that I've never looked into, but it is an option that could possibly be looked into. So I think it really warrants some revisiting of where we were probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, when the facilities tax was being talked about. Those needs that arose to be able to put us in a position to seek some financial means of that nature haven't gotten better since that conversation took place. So I think it puts us in a position to, again, prioritize, which I think you always do as a board and we try to do as administration, but prioritize what those needs are and then set some targets on how we're going to find some money to be able to do that. You know, we can continue to cut across the board. Unfortunately, if we get too far in the cuts, it's gonna affect students, and I'm not interested in that, and I don't think you are either. But if you're gonna have to go get $3 or $4 million for a parking lot, you gotta find it from somewhere. And right now, it's not just gonna keep compiling. So I'll stop there with those three, and if you've got comments, thoughts, again, it's more of a discussion tonight. Simply putting out there that we have some things on the radar that are gonna need some attention.
Anybody have any comments? Okay, next item on the agenda is first reading of press policy. This is just a posting. You'll get a memo with each one of these policies. The first one is 2-200, 2-220, 2-250, 2-260, 2-265, 440, 4-165, 530, 550, 5-250, 5-330, 650, 665, 6-100, 6-145, 6-170, 6-180, 720, 750, 7-100, 7-185, 7-220, 7-230, 7-240, 7-260, 7-280, 7-300, and lastly, 8-90.
Let me throw out there also, I looked through these a little bit today. There are a lot of the ones that she just read off the numbers wise are pertaining to board meetings and the running of board meetings and some things. And back, I think some of it stems back from COVID when you could be virtual and what the opportunities are. Talks about, you know, big situation in the country right now dealing with our military. If somebody's militarily linked, they could join us virtually and some of those kinds of things. And then I'm gonna be honest with you, there is a whole lot of, and I tell people this every time we do this, there's a whole lot of grammatical changes, just renumbering this and redoing this and so on and so forth. But this is what makes Michelle happy.
I hate it.
Because Michelle handles this. Once the board approves all these, then Michelle goes to work and gets them on the website, gets us up and running. But there are some things that are important, and I think we try to peruse through those as best we can to stay abreast of what's going on there. So we're doing the right things.
And each of us should have that in our email from IASB to go through.
Correct.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is closed session. So I'm looking for a motion in a second to enter into closed session for the following items. Item number 1 is the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the district. Let's see here, sorry. Item number 2 is student disciplinary cases. Item 3 is litigation when against or affecting on behalf of a particular public body has been filed or is intending before court. And the last item is pertaining to security procedures and building safety and security. Could I get a motion, please?
Motion.
Motion by Andrea, second by Erica, roll call.
Jill,
Yes?
Jane, yes. Des, no. Brandon.
Yes.
Erica.
Yes.
Andrew.
Yes.
Thank you all.